Welcome to this training section on reviewing and approving warrants in the LEADRS system. My name is Chris and I am the Field Services Manager. We are going to walk through the process of how to review warrants after they are sent to you by a law enforcement officer. Once the officer has completed their data entry, they are then able to begin the warrant review process. At this point, the officer will select Request for Signing, which initiates the document creation. In the event a warrant is rejected by a judge, the officer will have to begin this process again from this point. At this screen, the officer is able to select the search warrant they wish to use. Most counties will use the standard Texas warrant, which is shown in this example. After the officer has selected the template, he will select Send Signing Request, which will then prompt them to enter judge and witnessing officer information. In counties in which the district or county attorney require review prior to sending the request to a judge, the officer may download the documents from this screen and email them to the on-call assistant DA or CA for review. The officer has several options for their witness. If the witness is not able to come to the initiating officer's computer, the officer can send the warrant through LEADRS to the witness. They will then communicate via phone to conduct the swearing-in procedure. The witness can then sign the affidavit after the officer has applied their signature. LEADRS can also allow the judge to be the second signer, if the judicial organization prefers that the officer be sworn to the document by the judge. This, however, adds more time to the judge's portion and is not a common procedure we see with our agencies. If the witness is local, the initiating officer will complete prompts to record the witness's information. This ensures that witnesses to the signature and swearing process are documented accurately. The officer will then select the judicial organization and the judge for this warrant request. The judicial organizations that appear in the selection list are based on the county in which the offense occurred. Once this information has been entered, the officer will send the warrant through the system. The first step in the warrant signing process is for the initiating officer to review the warrant affidavit and make sure the data is correct. After that initial review, the witness will administer an oath to the initiating officer that the information contained in the affidavit is true and correct. The initiating officer will then apply their signature to the document by clicking on the large black X. This opens another window which allows them to sign the document. Once they have signed, they will press Set Up and Sign. The signature is applied to the document by clicking the black X a second time. In this example, you can see the initiating officer's signature is applied to the document with a date and time stamp, as well as the user's name. The timestamp on this document is created in Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, which is the standard time used to regulate clocks and establishes the basis for time zones around the globe. Central Daylight or Central Standard Time is UTC -5 or UTC -6, depending on the time of year. Central Time populates on the warrant under time issued, which you will see this in a few minutes. It is common to see UTC time on other applications, such as Axon body cameras, since it does not change with daylight saving time. It is a way to ensure that the server always puts the right time on the warrant, regardless of the time of year. The officer will then review the search warrant, ensuring that the defendant information and the county are correct. They are not able to edit this document at this point. If the officer finds a mistake, they must fix the error and then start the process again. Once they have done their check of the document, they click Approve. The next step depends on if the witness is local or not. If the witness is local, the warrant review continues on the screen for the witness to review and sign. If the witness is not local, the warrant will disappear from view, and a notification will be sent to the witness to review the affidavit and warrant. Once the review is done and the affidavit is signed by the officer and the witness, it is then sent to the judge. LEADRS uses email notifications to alert users that they have documents pending for review. The selected judge will receive an email notification from the system with a hyperlink directing them to LEADRS to log in and review the warrant. When you enter your LEADRS credentials, you will be directed to this screen, which is the active warrant you were sent to review. Click on Review to read the affidavit. If your organization requests that the judge be the second signer, you would see Sign and Review next to the affidavit as well. Once you have begun the review of the affidavit, you will automatically be directed to the warrant, so you will not have to return to this screen. If you find an error in the affidavit, or you find no probable cause exists, you can reject it from that point, and that will end this warrant request. After clicking Review, the completed affidavit will appear for you to review. After your review, you can either approve it or reject it by clicking here. If you approve the affidavit, you will then be presented with the search warrant and the order of assistance. To sign, click on the black X, which will open the signature window. You can then sign the document directly on your mobile device or computer. Once you have signed, click Setup and Sign to apply your signature to the document. To apply your signature, click on the black X again, and this will apply the signature. You have two places to sign, once on the search warrant and once on the order of assistance for the blood draw. After both signatures have been applied, you will click Submit on the pop-up window. This will actually apply or submit or signatures to the document. The final step is to make sure that the signatures were applied correctly to the document. You can see in this example that the test judge signature was applied with the UTC timestamp, but on the line above, it was converted to Central Time. The search warrant also includes the statutorily required judge name and court information legibly placed on the search warrant. Once you have verified that the signatures were placed on the document, select Approve, which will complete this warrant signing. You can also reject the warrant at this point if you need to. This concludes our training video on reviewing and signing search warrants in the LEADRS system. In the next section, we will discuss document management for judicial users.